as I was saying, oh my gosh, guys, the new chapters of the hit 2018 game, that was also a 2021 game, that's also now a 2025 game, Deltarune, are out. You may know it for being the famous sequel, maybe, to 2015's Undertale. A game which I'm not from, being a sweaty AU sans. Anyways, I finally played the chapters. Major spoilers ahead. And here are my takeaways. So anyways, we arrived in the Dark World, right? No surprises there. Then Rousey decided to say, hey guys, did you know that dark worlds are objects? And the whole fandom knows that. And then Tana came and was like, what's up guys, it's me, Mr. Ninteno's TV Tone! And doesn't it just feel so surreal to have a character to actually call Tana after thousands and thousands of AU Tenas? I mean, it's just so cool. And he pulls up like, what's up guys, welcome to my game show. So somehow everyone predicted that Tana would have a game show. I don't know how, but the game show was awesome. We got a bunch of stuff, and Susie was like, wow, it'd be cool if you had a sword. And I was like, where do I get a sword? So anyways, we beat the minigames, we beat all the stuff, was a cook, a chef, and we came over into the green room. I was like, wow, I really wish I got an S rank, but I didn't, because I lost! So anyways, I went over to the A rank rooms, and I played all the things. I was like, why the heck do you have to fight a water cooler? It's just a water cooler! And so then I was like, okay, Mr. Tana, let's do this thing. And we did the thing again, and you know, I sailed up, and he's like, wait, no, that's unfinished content! And I sailed up, and I beat the shut up, and I was like, holy crap, Rules card, why are you in trouble with those guys? And, you know, Rules was being a little freaky, so, I don't know. Anyways, I got another A rank, because I'm just that much of a loser. And I bought all the stuff, I bought the Susie Zoa, and I beat up a bunch of monsters, enemies. And then I went over to talk to Tana, and he said, gee, Chris, remember that old cowboy show your dad used to like? I was like, oh my goodness! They were all right! Friend inside me! It's real! The secret boss is actually a real friend inside me! And this was just because he mentioned one thing about cowboys. My friend inside me brain just went insane, even though it was already confirmed that there would be cowboy segments in the game. And that's why my friend inside. So anyways, we went and we told Tana, you're stupid, I don't like you anymore. And he cried, and we all went to the TV world, and went over the spotlights and farmed 10 billion points, because you can do that. And, I don't know, and then I saw, he was like, oh my goodness, I have a Pippus in this drawer. I was like, he has a Pippus! And so I went, and Spamson came out of the glasses, which the fandom predicted, I don't know how, probably because Jevil can turn into the knife and stuff. And he was like, I love you, Tana. And Tana was like, what the freak are you? Get out of my sight! And sprayed him with a bunch of penal fluids, I don't know. And then we went over, and we went to the end of the TV world, and we went and we found Toriel, and we were like, hey, Mr. Tana, give us that Toriel. And he said, no! And we fought him, and we beat him, and then, let me tell you guys the reason I didn't believe chess theory, because I was like, no way you're gonna fight the Roaring Knight in Chapter 5. Oh, Desmond shows up! That's right, the Roaring Knight. And he kills Tana, and we tried to kill him, but we can't. Until the next day file when I went, you know, got a sword and did all this stuff, and got the Shadow Mantle, and then I killed him. And boy, if you want to tell me that the Roaring Knight would be the Deltarune Chapter 3 secret boss, nobody would believe you. But he was, and we beat him, and we got the Shadow Crystal. Then we beat the chapter, and so Susie was like, oh my gosh, we have to go in that shelter, and then Diane got kidnapped and all that stuff. And then the next chapter, they were like, and Tori was like, hey Susie, come to church, and she was like, okay. And we drank a bunch of juice, it was super cool. Then we came back to Castletown, and we went to Sean, and he was like, the next foe will be impossible, but I think you can beat it because you're super strong. I was like, okay. And so we went over to Chapter 4. Oh wait, no, first we went to Noel's house, and there was a bunch of dialogue that I could have stayed and watched by doing nothing, but I didn't. And so, you know, Susie and Noel did weird lesbian stuff, I don't know. And then I got scared them as a soul, and I got hit by a hockey racket, and Asbro was there for some reason. And then we saw Carol, who's the knight, or maybe it's Des, or who knows, maybe Noel is playing them and she's the knight. I don't know, maybe Berkeley's the knight. Maybe we're all the knight. So anyways, I called up my brother Papyrus. This was in real life, by the way. I was like, dude, you told me you were the Roaring Knight. Why is it Carol Holiday? And he said, that sounds, I am the Roaring Knight. And so I thought about it for a minute, and I thought until my thinker was sore. And I thought, oh yeah, all I'm saying is Castletail. My brother's Papyrus Castletail, who canonically never exists in Castletail. This is an entirely different AU than Deltarune. So for all we know, my brother could just be over there in college creating dark fountains. And the roaring will happen soon, and I'll die. Anyways, I'm probably just gonna keep calling him the Roaring Knight because it's funny. And then Carol's like, Susie, I hate you. And Susie was like, haha, I'm lesbian with your daughter, get wrecked, noob. And so we went over to the dark fountain, and we're like, haha, this is so fun, why is it so dark? And then Gerson came, and we're like, Gerson, what are you doing here? I thought you were dead! It turns out he wasn't, and his name is now the Old Man. Like, imagine just being named the Old Man. What a loser, am I right? But turns out he wasn't a loser, because I came over to his study, and he was like, hey, I got a magic axe somewhere in these walls. I was like, okay, cool. And then I went over and I did a puzzle, and I found a treasure chest, and inside it was an axe. And of course, my feeble little brain could not comprehend that this was not the sacred axe he was talking about. So I was like, yippee, I got the magic axe. I don't know why it was so cool, though, because all it did was vampire stuff. And then, you know, I did a bunch of stuff, and then I was like, holy crap, there's a jack-o'-lantern here. And I beat him up, and he's like, you're taking too long! And I said, no, you're taking too long in the bathroom! So anyways, we beat him up, and he's like, okay, you guys are boring, but you can have my climbing claws. And so we came, and we called him cute, and he blushed, and it was freaky, and we climbed up a bunch of walls, and soon I climbed up some walls that were previous, and then I got the magic notes, and I played them, and Nobel was like, you put out my fireplace, you noobs! And we put out his fireplace, and we watched through his fireplace. It was pretty cool, yeah. And it was like, alright guys, time to buy the hammer, and so he was like, no, I want it for free! And he's like, okay. And then they fought him, and I was like, holy crap! If you were to tell me that Gerson Boone was the secret boss, I would have laughed in your face harder than if you told me this knight would be the secret boss. But alas, Gerson Boone, we murdered him, but we didn't actually because he's required to show up later. And then he gives us the shadow crystals and stuff, and we leave. And we climb up a bunch of stuff, and we steal the fountains, and Susie's like, I'm gonna make another one just for fun, and we make another fountain, and then we steal that fountain, but not before we talk to the fire extinguisher, and it's like, oh, you guys are stupid! And then we go to the third fountain that's inside the door, and we seal, and then we fight the Titan. Can't forget that part. We fight the Titan. It was pretty Titanic. Like, we thought we would be fighting the Titans in Chapter 7, but here we are, doing it in 4. Yep. You know what, there were so many theories about... Because everybody knew Chapter 4 was going to be in the church, but that was because of chess theory. Like, what if the flowers are the secret boss? What if Mike's the secret boss? What if all these things are the secret boss, but nope, it was just the Roaring Knight. And nope, it's just Ghost and Boom. I mean, it would have been nice to have a Juice secret boss, but Juice isn't really neglected at all. So yeah, we sealed the fountains, and Susie was like, let's just go home, Chris. And I was like, no, I want to go to Sean, I want to show him my Shadow Crystal, and show him that I got a Shadow Crystal. And Susie's like, Chris, let's just go home. And you know, I was feeling like there wasn't much hope for my Deltarune counterpart. You know, he got a few lines about like cattails and hot dogs, but when I went into Chris's home, I knew something had changed, because my dear Cyan's Deltarune had gotten a score on Chris's mom doing the old jitterbug, and presumably Toya was drunk. So I guess that day Cyan's Deltarune really did befriend Chris's mom, and it kept Chris up all night. And then their phone rang. I was like, Chris, you promised. And then Gaster came. My dad, but not my dad. My dad, Deltarune. And he was like, it's the halfway mark, guys. Deltarune Chapter 5 is coming in 2026. And I was like, okay. So anyways, I like Deltarune. It's pretty cool. You know, I don't even care if you like or subscribe. I just want you to watch this video like 60 times. Because I don't need subscribers. I just need view time, okay? I just need watch time, and I'll be able to get monetized, and I'll actually start making good content. So if you want me to actually start making good content because I actually get money, make sure to watch the video a bunch of times. I had Parmesan, but not anymore.